Hello, everyone. Today's topic is about the subject, verb, object sentences. This is very important because this is the basic word order in English. So as you can see for English 6 at Nacional Preparatoria, this is Unit 1, and we are going to start with this topic. So what we are going to do is just to review the SVO order, the subject, verb, order, object order, because this is the basic order, as I told you some moments ago. So the basic word order in English is subject, S, verb, V, complement. The complement may be formed by one or two objects. Now, what is an object? The object is the one, either a person or a thing, that receives the action. Yes, so that is why it is called object, because it receives the action. Now, let's see about the basic structure. So let's take this basic word order in English, which is subject, verb, complement, and see that in the complement, you may either have a direct object or an indirect object or both of them. So let's just check. We have the basic order with some variations. SVC, subject, verb, complement. SVDO, which would be direct object. SV, indirect object plus direct object. So these are the possible orders, word orders in English. Now, what is a subject? Well, this is something that you have been studying since you were young and beautiful in elementary school. So the subject is a part of the sentence that contains the person, group of people, animal, or thing performing the action. Remember, the action is the verb in a sentence. So here you have these examples where a person is the subject and then there is an action which is executed by the subject. So check in the first sentence, we have the very first word, Jennifer walked to the store. You were a great singer. And in these two cases, you have the subject right at the beginning. But that doesn't always happen. So you also have after lunch, which is an adverbial phrase, I will call my mother. And mosquito bites itch. Yes, so the subject may be at the beginning of the sentence or not. So what is important is that you identify the subject because that is the person, the thing, or the animal that is executing or performing the action. Here you have some examples. Some proper names and nouns may be used as subjects, like in this case, Galileo. Personal pronouns, he or she or it or we. Some indefinite pronouns like some people, or plural nouns, and two or more things may also be used as a subject. Now let's see this exercise. You can pause the video so that you read each of these sentences and find the subject in each sentence. The first one has already been solved for you. Zippy accidentally kicked Maurice in the shin. Now, pause the video and see if you can identify all the subjects. When you are ready, click on the play arrow again to check your answers. Now, check your answers. How many did you get right? So in some cases, as you could see, the subject was right at the beginning of the sentence, but in some others, it wasn't. What is important is that the subject is always very close to the verb and before the verb, because this is active voice. Now, there should be a subject and verb agreement. They both should coincide in number. As we said before, a subject may be formed by two or more people or animals or things. And in those cases, the verb has to agree with the subject. Look at the examples. Annie, which is singular, third person, is at school. You can never say Annie are because it is singular. Now check the other example. Annie and her brothers are at school. And in this case, is impossible because this is plural. Annie and her brothers. So there should be an agreement between the subject and the verb. Now check this exercise. Pause the video so that you can see and choose the correct form of the verb. Annie and her sisters, which one is correct? Is or are at school? We have already solved the example. And then you have 9 more sentences. You have to choose the correct verb depending on the subject. Pause the video so that you can do this exercise with no hurries. Now you can check your answers. How many did you get right? Annie and her brothers are, because this is plural. Either my mother or my father. So it is only one of them. My mother or my father is. The dogs and cats are outside. George and Tamara don't want to see that movie. So there should be a coincidence, an agreement between the subject and the verb. You can pause the video to check the examples. Now let's continue. Let's start talking about the direct object. A direct object will follow an action verb. Direct objects can be proper names, nouns and pronouns, phrases, or clauses. If you can identify the subject and verb in a sentence, then finding the direct object, if there is one, is easy. Just remember this formula. Subject plus verb plus, if you want to identify the direct object, just ask yourself, what or who received the action? What or who was the object of the action? So check this example. Zippy and Maurice played soccer with a grapefruit pulled from a backyard tree. You already know that Zippy and Maurice is the subject. Played is the verb in past tense. Now you can ask yourself, Zippy and Maurice played what? And of course you will get the answer, soccer. Okay, soccer in this case is the direct object. Now let's see the other example. Zippy accidentally kicked Maurice in the shin. Again, you know, Zippy is the subject, kicked is the verb. Now you ask yourself, Zippy kicked who? And the answer comes, Maurice. So in this case, Maurice is the direct object. So sometimes direct objects are single words like soccer and Maurice, but other times they are phrases or clauses. The formula, nevertheless, works the same. So you always ask yourself, what or who? Okay, Now let's see the indirect object. The indirect object is found by asking to whom or to what after the verb and the direct object. Let's see. To identify the indirect object, you may ask, the subject did what to whom? And to whom gets the answer, and that is the indirect object. I sent an email to my friend. To whom I sent an email? And the answer is to my friend. Now let's see this structure. So in these examples, the subjects are in lilac, the verbs are in blue, and the direct objects are in black. The indirect objects are in orange. Bobby Bowden gave what? To whom? There is no answer for to whom. Check the examples. Okay, there you have some references. There are many ways to do exercises. You can click on any of these references and you will get lots of practice by visiting these sites. Congratulations.